exhibitor hall right now. Well, actually, we're just about to enter. It's the first time ever. There wasn't really much of a long line. Everyone's wearing a mask, and so I hope you guys can hear me properly. Oh my god! Wow, this is intense. The minute you enter, this is what you see. Look at all of these booths. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Let's go explore. What in the world is PAX? PAX was originally called the Penny Arcade Expo, and it was created back in 2004 by Jerry Hawkins and Mike Rahulik. They were the authors of a webcomic series called Penny Arcade. When they had trouble finding a show that was made exclusively for gaming, they said, hey, maybe we can just create our own. The first Penny Arcade Expo happened in the year 2004 in Bellevue, Washington. Back then, it was held at the Meydenbauer Center. At first, they were about 3,000 people, but the next year there were 3 times the amount, and it kept growing and growing until the crowds just got too big. So in 2007, it moved to the Seattle Convention Center, where it still takes place today. Back then, it was called the Washington State Convention and Trade Center. A lot of gamers may recognize the Seattle Convention Center from The Last of Us Part 2. PAX kept getting more and more popular, and in 2010, they held the first PAX outside of Washington at the Youth Convention Center in Boston and called it PAX East. Just like PAX West, it attracted tons of people, and in 2011, it moved to the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, where it's still held today. With the demand for PAX not just limited to the US, PAX also held its first show outside the US in 2013 in Melbourne, Australia. The first PAX Australia was held at the Melbourne Showgrounds, and you guessed it, show attracted enough people to have it move to another venue and went to the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Center, where it's still held today. With PAX West and PAX East showing so much success, PAX South was added in 2015 in San Antonio. Based on the trend of the other expansions, you might have guessed that PAX South also grew exponentially since the first one. But unfortunately, you'd be wrong. In 2021, it was announced that PAX South would not come back. But what's actually inside here at PAX West? For starters, from what I've been told, PCs have become a much bigger presence compared to the early days. The PC part of PAX is the main reason I was invited out here, and you can definitely see, feel, and hear the PC presence as they dominate the floor space in the large exhibitor halls. While there's a chance you might miss some of the gaming booths, it's hard to miss the huge PC booths. But even with that, PAX at its core is always about gaming, and there is a lot of it. I mean literally hundreds of games. What I also love about PAX is that while you do have some big name game publishers and developers, there are way more indie games. And there's a place for them to shine and be discovered. Like a lot of you might know, I love supporting the smaller indie games just as much as the big ones. I like the mechanics of the game. We already know it's Planet of Lana, an off-Earth odyssey. So this is an Earth. But you know, living in Earth and thinking of Earth.
Yeah, you can jump to it from there. Yeah, so this will actually give you a med pack.
Ah, shit. Oh, wow. What the fuck? Ooh. Noise. Remember I mentioned there were a lot of smaller publishers and indie games? I wasn't kidding. I literally must have played dozens of cool titles that I would never even have known about before. There were a couple of bigger publishers as well, and we'll cover those in a bit. But first, let's explore some PC-related stuff. You know, that reminds me that so many people on YouTube is telling me to play more Call of Duty.
Oh, I got one. Excellent.
Okay. Lord, please.
Yeah.
Guys, it's such a small world because yesterday I met some new friends, including a gentleman named Ron Lee Christensen and his wife. And I couldn't believe it when I found out that Ron is actually the amazing modder who built the Elden Ring PC. Not only is he a talented modder, but he's the most kindest, most down-to-earth, coolest person that I've ever met. Guys, this is Ron. Hi Ron, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, how are you liking PAX West so far?
PAX is amazing. I mean, it's been a couple of years, as you know, since all these events have been able to come back because of the pandemic. And for me, the best part of creating these projects is getting out and meeting people like you and meeting other people in the industry and making new connections. So for me, it's always been a family, and be able to get out and reconnect with everybody is the best part, for sure.
It was such a breath of fresh air to be able to speak to you and how highly you speak of the community. Tell us your story.
So I got started around 2007, 2008. I just wanted to upgrade my own PC, and I had no idea how to build a PC. So I started with upgrading the RAM, went to the video card, and then I'm like, oh, okay, what if I just build my own PC? And so I actually I'm just going to document this whole process, all my failures, all my successes, and I just put it on a YouTube channel and started from there. And then I got slowly sponsored. My first sponsor was Bill Owen from MMPC Tech, and then Cooler Master and Thermaltake, and then it kind of just took off from there. And then I started taking on custom commissions and more projects, and here we are today, 20 years later, almost 20 years later now, and still creating like really cool stuff like this.
Wow, 20 years. I'm
getting close to it. Yeah.
Getting close to 20. Well, that's a long time. That's like a kid going to college already at that point. So what would you say is your most memorable build, apart from the Elden Ring one right here?
I would have to probably go back to one of my very first projects, because that's what got me started in the industry. You know, I was mentored by people like Bill Owen and Bob Stewart and Brian Carter, and they brought me under their wing and taught me, you know, the things to do in the industry and how to propose yourself in the industry, and how to talk to vendors and all that kind of stuff, and just how to be just a good human being, and for me, it's like I always love creating the projects, but getting out and coming to these events are always the best part. But yeah, it's almost been 20 years since we started this process, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, man. It's just amazing. Just love to do it.
It's so, it makes my heart flutter every time you talk about giving back to the community and being a good human being, because nowadays in the 21st century with social media and stuff, it's so easy to be the other way about it. What was the most challenging part of building this PC as well?
I think the most difficult part of the project was trying to tie in all the elements, but without it looking cluttered or garish. But the idea was to tell the story of Tarnished and his path to becoming the Elden Ring, and it was a lot of fun. The project's built out of several different types of materials: clay, foam, 3D printed parts, some wood, some acrylic.
I love the detail in everything here, and I'm looking at the Maiden. Tell us about the process.
So they're 3D printed, though. So they're 3D modeled and then resin printed, and then obviously hand painted. Some of the other files, like the lanterns and stuff, were files that were already available, like on like Thingiverse and some other 3D printing sites. But yeah, most of it was already 3D modeled and 3D printed.
So when most people build, we already have like a basic template and blueprint already laid out because we have the case. But with something like this, how do you go about planning it?
So, we knew that we're going to use a standard ATX board, and from there we kind of knew the footprint that we needed to build it from. So everything is scratch built. If I can get like a vision of how the end product looks, I can start building a blueprint in my mind about how to build it. I kind of just go backwards. I'm like, okay, this is what it's going to take. If I can't visualize it, it's hard for me to get to the end point. But if I can see it like on the table, if I can get a visual representation, it's a lot easier for me to get from the start point to the end point quicker.
That was actually my next question. But actually, just for all of your projects, like how easy or difficult it is to envision and print already, or do you usually have to change what end product is gonna look like halfway through.
Yeah, I mean that happens all the time. Like I actually started down this path and didn't like the direction it was going. I scrapped the entire project and started over. Yeah, it's like it happens quite a bit. Like there's things that you envision that when you start building it, the vision in your mind actually doesn't look good once you start building it. So you have to go back and it's one step forward, it's two steps back sometimes. So. But this one here was pretty smooth from beginning to end, other than like the very first. Because when I started building it, I built it a little bit too big, and I'm like, no, I need to reduce the size a little bit because it needs to go on a display table. So the idea was the same, but I just made the size a little bit smaller.
Last question.
Yeah.
Can I have Sammy, your dog?
For the weekend, but you gotta give her back.
All right, good. I mean, he also has such an adorable dog named Sammy, and I should have, I was just shooting my shot for that one. But anyway, Rod, thank you so much for your time. And honestly, I can't say this enough. You're one of the coolest people I've ever met in the industry, and hopefully we can collaborate in the future.
Yeah, I think we already have that plan, and I think it was kind of funny that we're sitting across the table from dinner last night, having this idea and already formulating before we even had a conversation about it. It's kind of great. I'm excited to work with you, and I think we got some really cool ideas coming up. So yeah, so whenever you guys want to collaborate, I'm here.
All right. Yes, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So I'm about to play the demo for Piece Odyssey, and it's the Bandai Namco booth. And look at how big the booth is. So let's go ahead and check out the game. Okay, so the gameplay seems fun, and the script writing also is, I think, giving me an idea as to what One Piece is like as a series. I like it, and it reminds me a bit of Persona 5 because I was able to play the first 5 minutes of that game. All right, so we're going to meet our good friends at the EK booth. There we go. The steering wheel's possessed. I'm not doing this. Oh shit! Oh shit! Jake is right over here from EK. Hi Jake, how are you? How is PAX West?
It has been busy, but it has been great here. So happy to be here this year.
I know, right? Like it's like just to feel like everything is a bit normal. How long have you been with EK, and do you yourself build PCs?
I have been with EK for 4 years now.
Wow.
And yes, I actually do build PCs. Fun fact, I got into EK and started working there after they sponsored me. And EK was actually my first sponsorship.
No, really?
Yes.
That's
So
cool.
started there, and now I work for them.
You did build a PC in your booth right now. Can you show us what it is?
Absolutely. So some of y'all may be aware that there is quite a popular game called Genshin Impact. And I got to do a fun project based on one of their updates during around July. They launched a new character, and NVIDIA was awesome enough to let me have the opportunity to do a themed PC around it.
Yeah.
So I got to build this and put it together and ship it off to them, and now it's here at the event too.
So let's talk EKJ. RTX cards are a little delayed, but the AMD AM5 is coming out this month. Will you guys have any blocks for us ready? Give me the juicy details.
So we definitely work closely with partners, and just today actually we announced the AM5 specific Velocity 2 block. So we're getting there to where we're starting to announce some new products, and definitely for anyone who hasn't yet, sign up for the newsletter because that's where we release news first, and you can get the first details for everything. And we should have some new content for you from that before too long. So we definitely work closely with partners to make sure we get products out quickly for everyone that wants to keep their systems running full.
So for builders that want to save time, or for builders who don't want to hassle with a bunch of offsets or planning, you guys have Matrix 7. You want to tell us a bit about it? How does it make it easier, and why is that?
So you can actually see it here a little bit in the system. This is kind of a demo system for Matrix 7. And everything is based around now the front distribution panels. So they become quite a popular product, and we've taken the time to make it so that, in essence, it's an ecosystem. And as long as you have a full set of PK Matrix 7 compatible parts, everything is supposed to line up straight directly with no bend, just fittings and the proper hardware. And you can see here in the system that with just some extenders and some 90s, everything lines up exactly how you need to. And with the radiators, you've got pushing fittings even, so that you don't have to worry about bending tubes to reach that, or even cutting tubes for it. You just use the pushing fittings, the right extensions and everything, and you're able to slot it in and push it straight into the distro plate. And that's been the goal behind it, is because bending tubing can be time consuming, it can be frustrating, and it's even doing like maintenance and upgrades to new hardware can take some time, because as soon as something is a little bit off or differently spaced, you've got to redo half your loop.
Exactly.
So,
like, I mean, it bothers some people.
Exactly.
Yeah, to their very core.
So we've made sure to now avoid that, and it doesn't matter if you want the vertical style look or if you want to go with the horizontal like standard look.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many ports on the front of the distribution panel, is so that we can cover all those options. And the same applies to the radiator as well. Like if you look at the bottom radiator, you'll see that it's got a 14 millimeter extender. If you remove that extender, that means that you get to go to the next size radiator.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted a smaller radiator, then you just use a larger extender.
Yeah.
So everything's been based around 7 millimeter increments, which is why it's Matrix 7. And that leads to this style being able to be done very easily and quickly by anyone.
Okay, final question. Water cooled or air cooled? Did you really have to think about that?
Well, yeah, so I'm a bit lazy of a person, so I'm not going to lie and say that I haven't used our AIOs at times, because it's quick and simple. But when I have the time to sit down and put the build together, and especially something like Matrix 7, which is far faster to do now than previously, it's definitely a lot better. So I always enjoy having a water cool system on my desk, but as someone that does enjoy modding and building, I'm not going to lie and say that sometimes my desk isn't an AIO build while I'm working on my next water cooled system.
Yeah, I mean, if all things considered, like if you have the time in the world and the space, like water cooled all the way.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
being honest, like sometimes
Absolutely.
you do have your AIO with you.
Yeah.
I just want to say again how much I'm having fun at this event, you guys. It's amazing. I feel like I want to go to PAX West next year. So I'm just lined up for the tickets for the ferry. And look at the view of the city. Ang ganda, it's so nice. And that's the Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. My accent's coming out, I'm sorry. I think I can move to Seattle. Spend 24 hours in any place and thinking I can move there already. That's so me. We're moving now. Peace sign. It's so freaking cold.
Stage ferries. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
One more Last of Us location, and that's the Seattle Library. But it's so cool because they were spray painted. So we're at the convention center right now, and if you guys remember from The Last of Us Part 2, this is how Ellie walks in The Last of Us. And if you all suddenly have to run, I wish I had a bat, and then I pretend. So they have a space here for cosplay repair, which I find, you know, very accommodating. It's right there. I think we could go in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
So I'm here right now at the Resident Evil 8 setup over at the Aorus booth. And it's really cool because if you look inside, they have this very creepy looking vibe to it. Come on. You want to know what I need? I need a gaming laptop, you guys. The Auros booth has so many peripherals. Look at all these. This monitor is so gorgeous. I don't mind dying because it's so pretty. Even when I die. Ooh, I think Howard's available to say hello. Let's go to him. Oh yeah, go. All right, you guys, so all the guys at the Auros booth were really nice, and Howard was super cool. You know, he really represents the company so well. Auros, if you're watching this, give Howard a raise in the promotion. Okay, now we're gonna go to the Nintendo booth to check out the new Splatoon game.
You're off to a pretty good start so far.
Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Ah! No! He got me first! Ah! Yes! Yes! I killed someone! I killed 2 people! No! No! Ay! Dude, we got our asses kicked. My teammates sucked. Especially the 2 cosplayers at the end. If you guys are watching this, you know who you are. You guys should have done better. On a brighter note, quick shout out to Steve from Nintendo for letting me check out the game. Thank you so much. The next visit was to the AMD booth. Shout out to Erica and Anthony, who are just amazing people. If I could give an award to the most high energy booth, I would give it to the AMD booth, hands down. Not only that, but I felt a sense of great teamwork over at the AMD, and you can tell everyone was not only working their butts off, but they were having fun doing it. I also wanted to join in on the Halo tournament, but after seeing some of the players, I thought better of it. Speaking of competition, tabletop gaming has always been a staple at PAX. And the esports tournaments were really fun to watch as well. Riding my Pidgey. Of course, the ASUS booth looks so good. Dev works here. Oh my goodness, look at this Nezuko case. This is so adorable. We even have the Nezuko headphones and the mouse pad. Of course, you also have Inosuke and a PC by Liquid House. It's only right that they have Zenitsu here as well. Oh, look at that, it's so cool. Here we go, new motherboards for AMD AM5, guys. Shopping, more shopping. It's the same brand of shirts that I got from in Star Wars Celebration, so I'm gonna check out if they have any exclusives and get some more. I might need this later. That's me when I'm gaming. Happy. Piss the F out. Do you guys have any bundles like 5 for...
So we're doing buy 4, get 1 free, buy 6, get 2 free,
Okay,
buy 9, get 3 free.
Oh, perfect. I'll get the It's Too Early. What Doesn't Kill You Gives You XP. I might need this later. Is today going to be a good day still available?
It is.
Anxiety.
Gotcha.
Japan and they
Merchandise for IPs. They hire us out to create stuff for them.
Oh.
So like, for example, all the Neopets merch we're offering right now comes with a code.
I said on Instagram story to pray for me that I don't spend too much money. No one prayed for me. Mystery box. It's a mystery box. It's a dice holders. Cool. Thank you for that. They're made out of that material? Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Like if Mummy, Book of the Dead. Oh wow, you can even twist it. Is it an actual notebook?
To, like, combine
Oh, it's a
laser
notebook. In leather mask.
Actually, this one too.
Guys, you remember these? Memory cards. Oh my god. Brings me back. Boobs. We have some old school games over here as well. Look at that. Yo, this is for my Nintendo. PlayStation 1. You guys have a cool collection.
I like your glasses.
Sorry?
I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. They're Star Wars themed. They're Boba Fett. Appreciate it. Thank you. This is an anime booth. It's called Inti Creates, and these are actually the type of games I would buy if I had all the money in the world. Oh, look at how pretty they are. Oh. I got a bunch of t-shirts because they look so cute. I mean, this one says what doesn't kill you gives you XP. This one says today's a good day, even though it's clearly not going to be a good day. This one says it's too early. This one is anxiety. And this one is I might need this later. And we can see this guy holding so many stuff because you guys know I love to loot. And then this one says I'm harmless, I swear. But there's something cool about this shirt because it glows in the dark. And there it is. It glows in the dark. And these two, I got tabletop games. This one is called Here to Slay. They're both also from T-Turtle, and this one's called Tic Tac Co. or Tic Tac KO, Dragons versus Unicorns. And I'm excited to play them with my friends because they have these special edition cards. So yeah. Alright guys, it's about midnight. PAX is officially done. Such an amazing time. It was my first time ever to attend PAX West. I actually had no idea what to expect. You know what? It was amazing. I had such an amazing time. I keep saying amazing. Take a shot every time I say amazing. Amazing. Right now though, I'll be recording some more Patreon content. So if you guys want to check out over my Patreon page, I have a lot of stuff over there. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye y'all. My brand new France dark chocolate spread got confiscated. Alright, I'm home.